Hey, what's happening, everybody? How's it all going? Starting up a little late here, but that's just fun. So we didn't get a chance to get on here last night. Got back too late from the the gymnastics meet that my wife and my daughter did, and my daughter did the gymnastics meet. My wife was part of it, and so we got back a little late from that, so we didn't get a chance to go on. But I wanted to go on today and say hi to everybody and see what was happening. See, we got a few people in here already. We've got James Richards, Bell Admin, FY29. How you doing, James and Bell and FY? What's going on? What's going on? Not sure how long we'll be on tonight. Maybe till 12:30 or so, something like that. Unless KY shows up and wants to hang out a little later, then KY can always take over and do his thing. I guess it's been working out well for people. So that things went good last night. For those who've been texting me, asking me, my daughter won first place overall. So she got the gold medal for the overall competition. She got first place, two first place, two first, two silver, and one bronze. So she did very, very, very good. And her new coach, which is the coach she just started with about 3-4 weeks ago, was quite impressed with her ability and so forth. So it looks like hopefully it'll be a good year for her at the state level. So she is the reigning state champion. So we're hoping she's gonna be able to do fairly decent this year also. But yeah, we'll throw the panel a link out there, so if anybody wants to come up, they can come up. And there's a panel link for anybody who'd like to. Crazy Frenchman. Crazy Frenchman, how you doing? Good to see you in here tonight. So there's the panel link for anybody who would like to come on up. Feel free to do so. So I see that our friend Floyd Omaha was arrested again last night. I think I saw where his charges had been dismissed and he was out of jail and so forth. I know they were trying to raise money last night, trying to get enough money to get him out on bail. So I guess that when I heard they had the money for bail, I'm not sure what went on after, but I know that he is out. And some people were saying that the charges were dropped. So we'll find out, I guess, how that went. Maybe we'll see him somewhere tonight or tomorrow and get a chance to chat with him. Polly Crispy Danger Zone, what's going on, Polly? I was listening for a sec. I heard Polly had someone on his show tonight, Doc Ryan. Seems to be a very intelligent guy. Interested in listening to him tonight. Don't mind me. I gotta put my glasses back on. I can't read crap without my glasses on. Look like Jackie. Jackie, good citizen Green. How you doing? Good to see you. Yes, like I was saying, I know he's out. He said he was out, told me he was out. And I'm not sure how he got out. Some people were trying to raise the money, and they did have the money raised. But supposedly the charges were dropped, according to some, and he got out. So I'm not sure whether or not he got out for bail before the charges were dropped, or whether he got out because the charges were dropped. Have not heard that confirmed yet, so I'm not going to say either way whether it was or was not the case. Silver Diamond, how you doing, Silver Diamond? Charges were dropped because lack of probable cause. Well, that's that's what they always have: is lack of probable cause. Lack of probable cause and lack of nuts usually is what it is. Silver says she watched the court. Yeah, Paulie got. I unblocked him. He he allowed a friend of mine on his panel, Doctor Ryan. I'm familiar with Doctor Ryan. He let my friend Doctor Ryan on his panel, so I figured out that in consideration that we're trying to put stuff behind us and so forth, that we put us on. News Now Ninja, lack of education, he says. Lack of education by the cops, I would say. That's what happens when they're uneducated. They don't, they tend to move before they realize what they have. As soon as we get this changed for their amnesty, qualified immunity, we get their qualified immunity taken away from them. These guys are going to have to act after they think, not think after they've act. You don't act and then think about how to cover it up, which is the way the police officers seem to like to handle things. Act and then figure out, okay, now how do we cover our asses? Not a good way to do it, especially if you have your qualified immunity taken away. You better start thinking before you act. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of people going after your house. And if you fuck up bad enough, your qualified immunity officers is history anyway. And those are the ones we like. We like taking these tyrant officers and putting them out on the street. Absolutely does not bother me a bit to see some tyrant officer put out on the fucking street for his ignorance. If that's what it takes, get the other ones to pay attention, then absolutely I want to see more of them put on the street. Pretty harsh thing to say, but pretty harsh shit that they're pulling on our people now. So you have to fight fire with fire. You can't fight fire with you can't fight fire with gasoline. It doesn't work well. So Crazy Fisher is trying to compete with me for worst mod ever. It's starting to piss me off. Worst mod ever. God, guys, you both suck, okay? Does that make you feel happy? Oh, God. News down, Preston, Nashville. How you doing? Not much, Preston. How about you? Hey, did you get your car back on the road, did you, buddy? I know you and our big guy there, KY, got together and worked something out. Did you get your car all fixed up? Feel free to jump up on the panel. Let me put that link up there here again for those just coming in who didn't see it yet. Yeah, if I can remember how to do it. I'll actually go over and see if I can remember how to pin her to the top. Pin message. Okay, let's see if that works.
Telling us disturbing times.
Preston, hit your YouTube.
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
Not much.
I'm sitting here talking to you and watching Upstate's panel. He's got Tyrant Slayer on his panel tonight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was watching that for a little bit there earlier, and then I had to jump off and go out and check how my truck was getting snowed in, and we're getting a few inches of snow tonight, I guess. So
Yeah, our snow's finally going away. My car hit the road today for the first time in about a week.
oh, really? Yeah, I don't know how much we're getting, but it's snowing pretty good out there. There's a good 3 to 4 out there already, so.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like almost 65, 66 tomorrow here, which is good. I'm going fishing tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. We won't be seeing that for a few more months. At least. Jessica Stone, how you doing? Brian Cooper. Big Red. Few people walking on in here.
Using her hidden camera.
How's Brian Cooper today? Jessica Stone.
Negative test results.
But yeah, so did you get your car going, or what's
Yeah,
up?
I did. I got a new battery. I had a friend of mine come by the next day after KY sent me the money to get the battery. I had a friend of mine come by the next day after that to take me to get a battery. So yeah, it's running good now. Actually, it's running a lot better than what it was.
I thought you said it was on the road the first time today. Yeah, well, if you've had a battery that's been going bad, it'll mess with the charging system and the operating system of your computer and everything. So if you've had a bad battery with a bad cell in it, it cannot make the difference on how your car operates.
As soon as I put that new battery in, I turned it on and it crunk right up. And it had a lot of snow and ice on it. So I knew it. I knew it had to have been the battery. I knew it had to have been.
Oh, look, my biggest fan is here. The panel is stupid. Is this guy still online? Absolutely, I'm still online. Still here pissing people off. And you know how I do it? I do it just like this. I hit this button and I hit this button. First, I time you out. Why? Because I can. Next, after that, I'll probably block you. And maybe I'll time you out a couple times first. So, yeah, I love it when guys like this come in, because otherwise it's really bored sitting here. Sometimes it's nice just to be able to, block some idiot every now and then and give you something to chuckle about.
Right. Either haters or haters,
Big Red. Your voice pissed him off. I don't know what it is, Jackie. I went over the Paul's today when Doc Ryan was on over at Paul's, and Doc Ryan and I sounded an awful lot alike, I guess. And I don't hear it myself, but others over there seem to. And Doc Ryan's voice was pissing off a lot of people over there. Jimmy and a few of them and so forth. And it was just funny just listening to them attack him and so forth. But he didn't stick around very long. He was over there to give their little professional advice. And the good doctor.
How you doing, guys? Just checking in, seeing what's going on.
Not bad. What you up to?
I just came over. I don't know what's coming on. I just seen where he was live, so I popped in to say hey and show my support.
Me too.
Sounds good. So what you been up to today, Big Red?
Little this, little that.
It sounds a lot like a lot of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, did anybody hear or get a chance to see the live last night with Omaha? Did I guess Upstate said he married some of it. I haven't got a chance to see it and so forth. Did anybody over here get a chance to see that live or?
What are you talking
I
about?
saw little bits and pieces of it. I seen where excuse me, News Now Houston, where News Now Community, aka News Now Houston, was saying they're taking him to Harrison County and that they'd come back live, and I ain't seen him since.
Yeah, I got a thing from Omaha says that he was out of jail just today around 3 o'clock or so that he sent something to me. So, but I'm just curious as to whether or not, why they ended up throwing him in jail. I mean, I'm not clear. I haven't had a chance to go search out the live yet. If I go through the links that Omaha sent me, one of them's that. I'll have to go check it out. But I'm just curious.
According to what I heard and what I seen a little bit, he supposedly a police car was unlocked. He went to touch the handle. I don't think he opened it or anything like that. But they charged him with interference, failure to ID, and something about government property. Yeah.
Well, I like Omaha, but the biggest problem that he's going to have now, and I said this the other night, when you take a plea, and which I don't know what his situation is. Who knows? Maybe I'd have took the plea too. Who knows? But when you take a plea like that and you say yes, because obviously we know if you take a plea, you're saying yes, I'm guilty of the charge. And if you have a charge that you were interfering, and then every police department after that, when they call your name in and they see that interfering in your history and you pled guilty to it, that's the charge they're going to throw on you, because they figure that's probably the easiest charge to get the DA to take. And when they throw the cuffs on you and throw you in the back seat of that car, they better have something that the DA will take and not kick him loose. Because if it doesn't go to the DA and then it's usually shit hits the fan. But hopefully, Omaha doesn't have a history of holding these guys to task. Hopefully he starts holding these guys to task, and when they treat him like that, he'll start to hold them, and some of these guys will start to learn, because they've gotten so now, every time you turn around, the first thing they do is throw the cuffs on Omaha and throw in the back of the car. And he's going to have to do something about that. But I know he's got several more charges that he's working on right now from the past, from a year ago. So, hopefully he'll get a chance to get through those and so forth. And those work out for him.
Yeah, I think he's always getting arrested in something for some reason.
Well, he's different in the way he approaches audits. He likes to test a little bit the officers to see what their reaction is going to be. Which is, I'm not saying is wrong, or I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's his approach to it. He likes to test to see what the reaction is going to be, knowing that he hasn't broke the law, knowing he hasn't done anything wrong. But he knows it's going to be borderline as to whether or not the officers are going to push it or not. And a lot of the times he's right, and the officers, they do the wrong thing and, do what they like to do with him, and find themselves in danger of, going to court. And hopefully
he pushes it to the limit.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes you don't have to push it to the limit with these guys. Myself, I've been in situations where just give them any thought that you don't know the law, and they'll tell you the law that they want to have, not that there is. They have no problem with lying to you and tell you, because of course the courts have told them that they have the right to lie, and they're not
Yes, they
there.
do.
Yeah, and the courts have also said that it's not their job to protect the citizenry, the citizens. So they feel now that they're no longer to protect and serve. It's to book and fine, and that's it. They now look at us as a source of revenue, as a source of making their budgets and so forth, and that's all we are now to them is money. We're wallets to them, especially when they see that it's a traveling. When they see it's a traveling auditor, then they figure they've got it made, because they don't think that a lot of guys will come back, for these peon charges. Basically, what they are, they're just charges. The butthurt cop charges. But they know they're expensive for guys to go back. Like you've got News Now. Yeah, God, I can't think of his name. He was just in here. And he's got to go back and forth from where he lives to down in, I can't remember what it is, Texas or some friggin' place down there. And he's fighting the charge down there. And it's fucking expensive when you start running halfway across the country or all the way across the country like they are, him and Phil are doing.
Yeah, that's why I try to do my stuff. I try to do my stuff local.
Well, but then again, be careful, of shitting where you eat. Make sure that you're doing it far enough away, half hour away from your house, so that you don't have guys, you don't have these assholes driving by your house every night, every day, just waiting for you to do something, because that's what they'll do. When you shit where you eat, you've got to, the smell of stink every time you go to lunch, and that's what happens every time you walk out.
I experienced that when Midwest was up here. Him and Jeremiah, Last Days of Freedom, they did a small town called Laverne, Tennessee, and they actually was watching them to see which vehicle they got into. So he texted me to meet him down the street, which is like on the borderline of the counties, and then pick him up from there, because they watch to see what you get in. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I actually had a guy block a driveway, blocking entrance to a parking lot one time, and we went out around, and I had a guy waiting out behind the building, and had him get in the back seat and lay down on the floorboard, and we drove out through after the guy blocked the driveway, and that's the only way to get the guy in the car and go out the other entrance. That's how these guys will do anything they can do to find out what car you got into, and it's pretty.
And they had like Laverne, they have like unmarked cars. They got like SUVs that aren't like police SUVs. They've got regular small cars that's got the blue lights and stuff. So you never know what they're going to pull you over in.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what we've got here in Maine too. A lot of the cars have hardly any markings on them, and the only difference is they have the municipal plate if they're the town cop, and the sheriff's cops are all pretty much the same type of a vehicle, the SUV, most of them. So you can usually recognize them pretty good. But you get these town cops that have got these smaller SUVs, and the only thing they have is the municipal plate, and you don't see that in time. It's kind of hard, but here where I live, I'm pretty decent with the cops. There's one cop around here that's a bitch, and her and I've had a couple of run-ins recently, and I've been making her life a little miserable, but otherwise than that, I usually get along fairly good with them. I used to be a hell of a hellion. I used to be fighting with them left and right, and I finally called truce, and they started leaving me alone. So, but and again, I usually 30 minutes. Oh, there it goes. 30 minutes from where I live. It's about the closest. I want to mess around. I just would not have them driving by my house every day. Memphis T. Hound, what's going on? How you been? Big E, Ohio State. How's that? Just looking to see who came in here.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know why I got booted off of there.
Just gonna go back in and see what part of the conversation's been. Hey, I can't half the time I can't see the chat. Brian Cooper. I don't see anything too pressing. But so, what have you been up to, Preston? You said you haven't been getting out much. So
I haven't been up nothing, just been stuck in the house for the last almost 7 days. So I decided I'd go out and enjoy a little bit of the sun today.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I had this bunch of stuff I had to do today, and this morning it wasn't bad. You'd never believe looking out there this morning that we're having a snowstorm in the afternoon. It was real nice this morning, but
it's going to be real nice tomorrow and Wednesday here. It's going to be almost 70, but that weather changes every day.
Yeah, I didn't really pay too much attention to the news. I playing around with getting things set up for my daughter's match she had, and trying to get everything situated there, and that was in southern Maine, so it wasn't too far away. Sometimes they're way down in Massachusetts. We had one last year way down in Cape Cod, so thank God this one was pretty close. They haven't been going too far away. This COVID last year, they didn't have any meets even last year because of the COVID. So at least this year they're starting to have some gymnastics meets this year. So, and they're going to have the state championships in March. So
yeah, hopefully they'll get a lot of the sports back to normal this year.
Well, it's crazy because my daughter's also in karate, and she's in full contact Kyokushin karate, which is one of the toughest forms of karate. That's really it's with full contact, and they haven't been able to do full contact over the past year because they're not allowed to physically touch each other because of the coronavirus. So they're trying to get everything situated back around so that they can start having full contact, fighting again. And
right.
these kids are all, it's like playing football. You train, then you sit on the bench. There ain't no fun in that. These kids want to get out there. They want to toss and turn and kick and punch each other. And she's not able to do that. So she's getting pretty bummed out. So hopefully they get everything situated. Hey, Cameras, what's going on? What you up to, Cameras? Come on up if you want, Cam. But yes, it's funny because before when kids could kick and out, kill each other, there's a lot of people showing up for karate. But now that you can't fight and punch each other, hardly anybody in karate now. So, because it's probably the people scared of the coronavirus, but hopefully this freaking shit quiets down. At least, some of the sports is, I don't know how some of these, but just the big sports they're gonna be they got plenty of money, but the little small vendors and some of the supportive, we've got places around that they survive only because of the sports complexes around. And they're not, like down in Massachusetts, they haven't had the sports so forth that they've had over there in the past years. And when they do, the bleachers are empty. They can't have very many people in the bleachers. And so the beer vendors, all the, those vendors have got to be hurting. I can't believe that they're still going.
Right. It's hard to believe myself.
Yeah. Cameras. How's that, Cam? What the hell do you do?
I don't know what that was.
I don't either. I think he had the wrong. Wait a minute. He had the wrong avatar up. Oops.
Right.
Oh shit. I think it shocked him as much as it did anyone else. I think he's ready now. Are you ready now? Okay.
I'm sorry about that. I haven't used this phone in forever, and I didn't realize that picture was still up there, man. I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to do that.
You jerk.
That was good. Sorry about that, man.
That's all right. I'd give you my thing and make you go edit the damn thing out.
Well, what it is I have different phones, so when I log into StreamYards or whatever on that phone, I didn't realize that this account had that picture up. But I've been on other panels and that picture wasn't up, so I don't know why that picture was chosen.
Well, I saw your face, and just as I was flipping it up,
yeah, and I was turning off my camera, and then I seen it, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" God damn.
Oh well, life's a bitch. They won't. Worst they can do is take away my channel, and then I'll be able to sleep at night. So somebody the other day said, "What would you do if they took your channel around?" Channel away, Brian. I says I would go to sleep before 1 o'clock. Well, do I think that's really a terrible thing? Probably not. They said, "Well, would you create another channel?" So I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I'd just relax and listen to other people's channels for a while.
Yeah, I'm sorry I haven't been around as much, man. I've been working all the time.
Oh well, that's not a bad thing. At least you've been up working until.
Yeah. How have you been?
Oh, not too bad. Trying to stay up and around.
I'll be back up in a minute.
Okay. Some days I just don't feel like coming on. People don't realize how rough how hard it is sometimes to do panels when you're not really feeling well or something. Like if I have a long day, by the end of the day, I'm freaking tired as hell. If I don't get a chance to take a rest in the middle of the day, by 11, 12 o'clock, I'm ready to go to bed. I'm not ready to do a fucking panel. So that's why now I got, KY. KY will jump on and he'll run them later and so forth. And otherwise than that, hell, I'd shut them down at 12 o'clock every day. I'd run an hour panel and that's it. I could care less about the freaking the money from it. It's not what I'm doing this, but
Yeah, I haven't been on YouTube much. I've been watching the military coup in Myanmar, that country. I don't know if you've seen that.
yeah. Well, I to be honest with you, I've been doing more with going on and chatting with friends of mine, on the Filipino channels. There's a bunch of guys that I chat with and I'm friends with on the panels that, the expats who live in the Philippines and the different people who live in different countries and so forth. And I've been spending more time talking with them than I have on YouTube still, but about than I have on doing the 1A community.
Yeah, I still go out and audit and stuff, but with this pandemic going on, I mean, everything's just
Mm-hmm. Well, when I started doing this, I was doing it because there was only there was me, there was Jeff, there was what's his name out there in California. I think there was like one other one that were doing panels, in the 1A. And so I started doing panels because obviously, that few, there was enough of a need that needed to be filled as far as, helping out the auditors and so forth. So that's why I started this. And then so many people have, gone from my channel out on their own. And so that now we have so many other auditors out there, auditor support channels, now panels and so forth, that heck, sometimes I don't even bother coming on because that's, there's no sense in competing. Like if you've got upstate audits going late at night, there's no sense in me, in upstate both going, we both have the same people. We may as well let upstate do the thing. So that's why I'll usually come on for a little bit and say hi, and then probably another 30 minutes I'll shut it down. But there's the only reason I came on doing this is because there was a niche that needed to be filled, and now with these other guys, I'm starting to feel now like heck, I don't need to be here anymore. So you may start to see me cut back on the amount I'm on here now. So
yeah, man. You what for the past year, man? It was every day we were doing panels, and it's definitely time consuming and a lot of work.
Well, yeah, and my health and stuff. You know more than most. About what my health issues are and so forth. And so it's pretty taxing and so forth. And we've got good people doing good people doing panels now. Upstate, he's really good. We got Jackie, she's doing panels. She's really good, and a couple others. So that I don't feel like I need to be on all the time. There's coverage enough now that if somebody gets arrested and they need to get the word out, there's enough people out there now that they can get the word out. So I don't feel like I need to be here as much. So I mix that to cut back and just not be here as often. It's not as often, but as long at least. And the late night is what bothers me the most. It taxes me the most,
Yeah.
But then again,
the kind of drama died off too. That was getting too ridiculous, I think.
Oh yeah, the drama had to go, and that's kind of what I wanted to be. I wanted to put an end to that. I wanted to try to at least get enough. We had so many different people who were going at so many. There was fights all over, and we pretty much got those all taken care of. Now there's fights now that are in the other side. The trolls are ripping each other apart worse than anything else now. So I say, hell, let them rip each other apart. I got no problem with that. But
Yeah, I'm kind of to that point too. Like just whatever.
yeah, and again, if I saw that the guys started dropping out, and I saw that there was a need for me to come back, then I probably would. But it's just that there's enough people doing what I do. There's enough people that I can back out of it, and if there was bad hosts and I didn't like the way they were doing things, that would be one thing. But Jackie, I've always loved Jackie. Jackie's always been top shelf. I mean, she's always been supportive of everybody, even people that I thought at times were people that she should be against. She was she was trying to tell me that I should,
Yes.
but she's done well. So absolutely. Well, as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to cut it early tonight. I see Upstate still on, so I think I'm going to let Upstate have these 26 people. So you people that are still on tonight, Upstate Audits is still on, running his panel. Run on over there. He's got Bud Goer and some of the others that you all know and so forth. So run over there and tell them that it's a NNE raid, and take care, everybody. And again, if you don't see me on as much, it's because I just figure that there's plenty on here filling that gap that I feel like I used to fill. So take care, everybody, and hope everyone does well. And we'll see you every now and then. Take care.